I think on the programme there was a sort of session just a few minutes at the end to just round things up. And what I decided to do with that session when I was asked to sort of do it about 2 minutes ago was to invite a couple of people to sort of reflect a little bit on the day for just 5 to 10 minutes. And what I thought would be useful is Morgan's obviously been a speaker and contributor. Michael Nutley here is a punter. So I thought it'd be quite interesting just to have a sort of roundup and sort of a closing sort of set of thoughts. And I think, oh, I've gone all boomy now. I think one of the things that I got looking at the programme was that the theme of the whole event is about sort of openness and interconnectivity and open source and about collaboration. And I think in those terms, I mean, what do you think, what are you taking from the day? I mean, what have your highlights been, Morgan?
Well, I've spent most of this morning and a fair bit of the afternoon in one-to-ones, and Michael and I were talking about something similar to this over lunchtime. I've spent the past few months doing quite a few of these sort of on-stage, this is the future and past and present of digital media and so on and so forth, and they seem to sort of fall into two camps. There are the sort of shameless talking shops of marketing people who stand up and try and show what they do with PowerPoints. And there's the other lot, which is, this is one of probably 2 or 3, by which I include Melton, I'm struggling to think what the third one is, which is attended by people who are intelligent, smart, genuinely trying to make something happen, and have got a whole bunch of ideas in the back pocket that they're trying to get out there. And what I really got from the one-to-ones was sort of, you know, here's an idea we're trying to sort of make work, what do you recommend? And I'd sort of say, well, to be honest, don't do that, don't do that. And they say, well, what about this then? They say, well, yeah, but, yeah, what about this then? What about this then? And it's constantly trying to make something happen. And I kind of get this from, you know, all those of you who survived till 5 o'clock and beyond, I guess are kind of beyond the call of duty, because this is about making something happen. And I think you need to be in a position where if you don't make it happen, then you ain't going to pay the rent. And I think if you're in that sort of position, that's where the real creativity comes through.
Michael, as a punter.
Well, slightly, I should perhaps explain slightly my credentials. I'm the editor-in-chief of New Media Age, so I'm not quite...
He's not a normal punter.
I'm not, something of a cuckoo in the nest. The one thing I'd kind of echo what Morgan's saying, because I think the interesting thing is that we kind of forget how small this industry actually is, and I think we kind of forget, you know, we kind of all get very excited about what's going on. We kind of forget that the kind of indifference of an awful lot of the world, and the kind of the hope from an awful lot of people that we'd all just go away and they could just get on with collecting their salaries and hoping for their pensions. And I think, you know, as you know, I've just come out of one of the little breakout sessions, which was absolutely great, putting together people from TV and new media and talking about what the two sides have in common. TV production companies and new media companies. And I think, you know, that the value to me of this sort of day above anything else is the fact that it brings together people from, you know, quite disparate backgrounds, all of whom are united by, as Morgan says, this desire to make something happen. And I think, you know, we've reached the point where the infrastructure problems have been solved. The things that dogged us for, you know, the first 10 years of the commercial internet have been solved. We're in a position where we can start to deliver on the promises that the industry made, you know, 10, 11, 12 years ago. But that won't be done by new media people on their own. It will be done by people from across a great spectrum of you know, creative and technical industries. And I think that's the real virtue of something like this. And that's what I got from the day.
You weren't tempted to go into Tony's discussion about whether to change the word new media?
Don't even start on that.
What have you changed it to?
What did it come out as? Is Tony here?
Oh, he's going to tell us tomorrow.
Okay.
I think. I mean, one of the things I sort of... one of the things that was talked to me just now was suggestions from Jenny up there at the back about doing things for next year, about bringing sort of, you know, some contact with young people and audiences into this, in general terms. And I think that's something to look at. I do think one of the strengths from me sitting watching things has been the idea of the collaboration and talking. And I've been at the last sort of 2 between events, and I've met so many people who have actually been able to talk to afterwards, which I think I've done the 5 minutes I was supposed to do, which leads me on to tonight. don't forget tonight, and I've got to remind you, the quickfire event is happening around the free drinks here at 7:30. Or there's a free cocktail anyway. Maybe not free the rest of the night. Of course it's free. It better be. And there are quickfire events. So part of today, and one of the things is we've had some very good breakout sessions today after the talks and things like that. And as a participant in one, I really enjoyed doing that. And I think tonight is a chance for people with, to have 5 minutes to present something of their own. And if anyone's not done that, who would like to show off what they're doing, in 5 minutes, they're still welcome to sort of do that.
And be courageous as well. Yeah. I mean, it's we're talking about commissioning at the beginning of the day, and pitching's a horrible job, but if you're not selling what you're doing, it ain't going to get through. So do stick your hand up and say, this is my thing, and be prepared to be shot down and make something later on. It's totally essential. I think
I think just literally to finish, the thing that I've got out of the day is the fact that people have been talking rather than just being talked at. And I think you should really push that tonight and get to sort of talk through the issues and use tomorrow to interrogate people if you're here much more. Anything else to finally add? Thank you both for coming up at the last minute, and thank you all for attending today, and don't forget to come back at 7:30 for the event.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.